concept of education does not lend itself to an embracing definition. This means that there is no universally acceptable definition for the meaning of education. We don't have only one definition for education, and the reason behind this is that there are so many scholars in the field, and most of these scholars has been able to come out with their own definition. The meaning of the concept of education has been kept on changing in the course of time, and the meaning can be looked from so many background, perspective, or angles. The word education originated from a Latin root word, and the Latin root word is called educare and ducu. We have educare, which is spelled E-D-U-C-A-R-E, educare. And the word educare simply means to train or to nurture. And duco is spelled D-U-C-O. And the meaning of duco is to grow. So the word education originated from two Latin root words, which is educare and duco, where educare means to train or to nurture, and duco means to grow. So when we put these two together, you will get education, meaning nurturing to grow. Now, these two words could be incorporated into the English dictionary and translated to mean this. Education is therefore defined as the process of nurturing individuals to grow with regard to their total personality development. Education is the process of nurturing individuals to grow with regard to their total personality development. Now, I want us to take the key words in this definition one by one and explain them. So let's look at the meaning of growth. Growth refers to the quantitative increment that takes place in the lifespan of every individual. The quantitative increment that takes place in the lifespan of every individual. I mean that growth refers to the increase in the size and weight of an organism. The changes that take place in the size and weight of an organism. So when you give birth to a child, and let's say that the child is at 1 year old, and you compare that child to another child who is at the age of, let's say, 12 years, you could see that the size and weight of these two children are different. So when the child is growing, that same child is being expected to exhibit some potentials, to exhibit some qualities, to exhibit some kind of maturity, and that is where we get development. So the development comes in when the child who is growing start to show some kind of maturity. Therefore, what is development? Development is the qualitative increment that takes place in the lifespan of individual. So it means that naturally, when an individual is growing, that same individual is being expected to also develop. So as the individual is increasing in terms of size and weight, that same individual should also show some level of maturity. And this is all about education. Now listen to me here. When you take education, education has two main concepts. Education has two main concepts. We have the old concept of education as the first one. So number one is called the old concept of education. And number two is called the new concept of education. The old concept of education gave the first meaning of education. And this one is more related to the root. That is the educare and the ducu. So I am saying that when you take the old concept of education, it is the first meaning of education. And this first meaning of education was given from the root word, that is the educare and ducu. Is it clear? Now, the old concept of education is based on the idea that education is just preparing individuals to live life on earth. The old concept of education is based on the idea that education is preparing individuals to live life on earth. So in the olden days, education simply means the process that will help people to survive. So when someone becomes a farmer, the person have to make sure that he will also teach his or her children to know how to farm, so that when that person dies, the children will also farm to survive. When someone is, let's say, a fisherman, that fisherman will have to teach his children how to fish, so that in the absence of the fisherman, the children could also fish and what? Survive. So when you take women when they are in the house, all what they used to do is cooking of what? Food. So when a woman gives birth to a child, that woman will teach the child how to cook food, so that in the absence of the mother or the woman, the child will also know how to cook food. So the old concept of education simply means how human being could be able to survive on this earth. That was how education was meant in accordance with the old concept. So the old concept of education was the type of education which was based on the idea that education was something which only prepares individual to live life on this earth. Now listen to me. There were some scholars that came out with the view that if the old concept now we are looking at the concept of education. We have two main concepts of education. We have the old concept of education and the new concept of education. So let's take them one by one. One, the old concept of education. The old concept of education gave the first meaning of education. The old concept of education is based on the idea that education merely prepares individuals to live life on earth. The old concept of education involves all the ideas, all the procedures, all the experiences that help individuals to live life on earth. Now, all what the old concept of education means to us is that education refers to anything that help individual to live life on earth. Education means anything that will help man to survive in this world. For instance, assuming that you are a farmer and you have given birth to children. So, as a farmer, you need to teach your children how to farm, so that when you die, these children could be able to farm, produce food, and survive in your absence. Assuming that you are a fisherman and you have given birth to children, you have to teach these children how to fish, so that when you die, in your absence, they will be able to fish and get something to survive. So basically, the old concept of education refers to all the procedures, the practices, the experiences, the ideas that help people to survive on this earth. So that is the old concept. And remember, I told you that it gave the first meaning of education. And therefore, the old concept is more related to the root word than the new concept. So in exams, in objectives, they can ask you that which of the concept of education is more related to the root word. The answer is the old concept of education. Now, some scholars stood up and found some weakness on the old concept of education. And what is the weakness? They saw that if the old concept of education simply means something which prepares individuals to live life on earth, then assuming there are some weakness, these same weakness are going to be transformed from one generation to another generation. So some scholars saw or found some weakness on the old concept. And the weakness was that if there are some weakness of the old concept, if there are some mistakes in the old concept, the same mistakes are going to be transferred from one generation to another generation. So these scholars said that because of that, the old concept of education is not enough. So they tried to add other ingredients, to other things to the old concept of education. And this gave birth to the new concept of education. So the reason why the old concept of education was so some scholars said that if the old concept of education means something which only prepares individual to live life on earth, then provided that there are some weaknesses or mistakes, these same mistakes or weaknesses are going to be transformed from one generation to another. So these scholars saw that the old concept of education was not enough. So they tried to bring another ingredient and add them to the old concept. And this gave birth to the new concept of education. So the new concept of education was not entirely different from the old concept of education. The new concept of education was just an extension of the old concept of education. When you take the new concept of education, you will get some part of it which is the old concept of education. So when you take the new concept of education, it is the old concept of education that we have added some ingredient for it to be extended. Is it okay? So the old concept of education only prepares individual to live life on earth. But the new concept of education prepares individual to live life on earth, help individuals to improve upon their standard of life, and help to improve the social conditions of individual. So what is the new concept of education? The new concept of education refers to all the practices, all the procedures, all the ideas that one prepares individual to live life on earth, two, improve the social life or the social conditions of the individual, three, help individual to improve upon their life performance, and four, help to improve the standard of living of the individuals. So that is the new concept of education. Now, we have some definitions that have been given by scholars, and this definition has been worldwide accepted. This definition has been globally accepted, and they are being used as acceptable definitions. These definitions are termed to us as prescriptive or stipulative definitions. So when we talk of stipulative or descriptive definitions, they are the definitions that are given by scholars and they have been accepted to be used worldwide by educationalists. So I want us to take one or two of these definitions and explain them, as well as looking at the scholars who propounded such definition. Let's look at some of these definitions. The first one was a definition which was given by a scholar called Plato. In accordance with Plato, Plato reaffirmed in his book of law that education is for the good of the individuals and for the benefit of the society. In accordance with Plato, education refers to the type of training which is given to children for them to sublimate their innate tendency to know when to hate and when to show love. According to Plato, education is the kind of training which is given to children for them to sublimate their innate tendency to know when to hate and when to show love. Definition 2 was given by a scholar called Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer. And according to him, education refers to the total process of human learning by which knowledge is imparted, faculties trained, and skills developed. According to Herbert Spencer, education refers to the total process of human learning by which knowledge is imparted, faculties trained, and skills developed. According to Aristotle, he said that education refers to the total process of human life, or education refers to the process of complete human life. Good afternoon. This is Evangelist Bright Bible. You can refer to me as Professor. This afternoon, our topic was based on the concept of education. And we said that education does not have only one definition, simply because there are so many scholars in the field, and most of them has been able to come out with their own definition. We also said that the concept of education has been kept on changing in the course of time, and the meaning of education can be looked from so many background angles or perspectives. We said that the word education originated from the Latin root word educare and duco, where educare means to train or to nurture, and duco means to grow. So when you put these two together, you get education, meaning nurturing to grow. Therefore, education is the process of nurturing individuals to grow with regard to their total personality development. We said that we have two main concepts of education. We have the old concept of education, which gave birth to the new meaning, and the new concept of what? Education. We said that the old concept of education involved all the practice and the procedures that merely propels individual to live life on earth. So in accordance with the old concept, education refers to anything, any experience, any procedure that only prepares man how to live life or how to survive on this world. Then we said that the old concept of education was having some weaknesses. And the weakness was that if there are some mistakes, the same mistake is going to be transferred from one generation to another. So because of that, they intended to add some ingredients to the old concept, and this paved way for the new concept of education. So I emphasize that the old concept of education gave birth to the new concept of education. Therefore, the new concept of education is just an extension of the old concept of education. So when you take the new concept of education, you get the old concept of education in it and other ingredients in it. So when the old concept of education only prepares individual to live life on earth, the new concept of education prepares individual to live life on earth, help individuals to improve upon their life performances, help individuals to improve their standard of living, and help them to improve their social condition. I also said that we have definitions that have been accepted worldwide by educationalists, and this definition is referred to as stipulative definition or prescriptive definition. And the first one was a definition given by Plato. And I said Plato reaffirmed in his book of law that education is for the good of the individuals and for the benefit of the society. And I said that education refers to the type of training which is given to children for them to sublimate their innate tendency to know when to hate and when to love. That is a definition by Plato. And I also gave a definition by Herbert Spencer. And according to Herbert Spencer, education refers to the total process of human learning by which knowledge is imparted, faculties trained, and skill developed. Beloved, this brings us to the end of today's lesson. My name is Evangelist Bright Bible. You can call me Professor or Sir Bright. God bless you. If God permit, next week we will meet and we are going to continue from where we have ended. May the Almighty God continue to shower His divine blessing upon your life. May God ensure the continuity and the perpetuation of anything that you want or intend to achieve. May the Lord be with you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Bye-bye.